When you think about the Joe Biden you saw in the debate, ask yourself a question. Do you think the guy who was defeated by the stairs, got taken down by his bike, lost a fight with his jacket, and regularly gets lost, makes it 4 more years in the White House?
So tonight's the debate. And I was on record saying I didn't think it was going to happen. And, well, we'll see. It's 9 hours from now. And if the debate happens, it'll be really something to see. And boy, are we ready for it. I mean, if you like clips and memes and viral videos, you love a presidential debate, especially one involving Donald Trump and Joe Biden. So they're getting ready for it. And you might be wondering whether this is going to be about important issues that matter most to you. Well, if you look at the mainstream media who's trying to run interference for Joe Biden, well, you'd be sorely disappointed. They're not talking about border security. They're not talking about inflation. They're not talking about the economy. They're not talking about wars abroad. They're not talking about any of those things. They think that this entire debate is about whether Joe Biden can complete a sentence, stand for 90 minutes, and not fall flat on his face. We talk about lowering the bar. I said this yesterday on the program, and I want to reiterate. Joe Biden has more experience engaging in political debates than any other living human being on the planet today. He's been doing it for over 50 years, and nobody else can say that. He's the one who challenged Donald Trump for this debate. So to say that he wins just by not looking like he's got a foot in the grave is ridiculous. No. Everything's on Joe Biden to actually show up and defend his record. And if you're like me, you're hoping that this debate is about a lot more than just, oh, look, Joe Biden can speak without sounding like he's dead. No. You actually do want him to defend the indefensible. You want to hear about what's going to be done to fix this economy so that you're not paying $1,000 for a loaf of bread anymore. If you turn over to Donald Trump's social media platforms, they've been putting out teaser videos of some advertisements that I think are actually going to run during the breaks of tonight's debate. And they're certainly being pushed on social media. Let's take a look at one of them, shall we? Here's part of Donald Trump's debate prep.
No matter what Joe Biden promised in the debate, ask yourself, are you financially better off since he became president? Are you and your family safer since he became president? Is our country more secure since he became president? After 4 years of failure under Joe Biden, it's time to make America prosperous and strong again. Donald Trump for president again.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
All right, so listen, if Donald Trump's focus tonight in the debate is that and expanding upon it and pointing out issue by issue, point by point, data segment by data segment, exactly how much worse things have gotten and connect them right back to Joe Biden's lack of leadership and his horrible decisions in spending money that we don't have and increasing the regulatory state, making it cost that much more for companies to do business in this country, thus then passing on those costs to the consumer in the guise of higher prices. That's what causes inflation, then he's going to win. And he needs to make it about you. He needs to make it about you and the pain you're feeling and how you're not going to feel it if you put him back in office. And he should be able to remind you pretty easily, hey, it was just 4 years ago when things were a whole lot different when I was in the White House. So that's good. And I think that it's actually going to, if that is in fact a good indication as to what Donald Trump is going to hope to achieve tonight, I think that it might be a good night for him. There's another video that he's put out, though, that I think that it might have an effect as well. This one does tie to Joe Biden's ability. And if Joe Biden has a tough night in terms of his memory, in terms of his stutter, in terms of his inability to put together a complete and coherent sentence, if he looks frail, if he looks like he is, in fact, not going to make it for the next 4 years, well, this ad is going to really resonate. Take a look.
When you think about the Joe Biden you saw in the debate, ask yourself a question. Do you think the guy who was defeated by the stairs, got taken down by his bike, lost a fight with his jacket, and regularly gets lost, makes it 4 more years in the White House? And you know who's waiting behind him, right? Vote Joe Biden today, hit Kamala Harris tomorrow.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
Another strong ad, because it's a twofer. It not only shows you what a bumbling disaster and embarrassment your current commander-in-chief and head of the executive branch of our federal government is, but it also gives you the terrifying notion of who takes over if what we all assume is the truth, sadly, that Joe Biden won't make it 4 more years should he be elected. Yeah. They say that a running mate doesn't really ever help someone get elected, at least in recent years. I mean, it certainly helped John Kennedy get elected when Lyndon Johnson was able to fix the Texas vote, allegedly. But since then, they all say, oh, a vice president can only harm you. Well, it's quite possible that Kamala Harris could be one of the most negative drags on the Biden ticket that you'll ever see, because we've seen what she's like as a vice president for the last 3.5 years. And, well, she's got lower approval ratings than Biden at this point. She's got lower approval ratings, to paraphrase Senator Kennedy, than toenail fungus. She's just not a likable person, and no one wants her to be president. No one. So that's a good insight into some of the things that's happening over at Team Trump. One other video that they put out that is not set up like an advertisement for television like those last two were. You will, in fact, probably see those last two during the debate tonight if you're watching. This one appears to be made for social media, which in many ways can be even more effective than a television ad. Take a look at this. It's incredibly powerful. And again, issue-oriented. It's about an issue that matters to you, and it preempts a lie that Joe Biden will probably tell tonight.
When I argued that we should freeze federal spending, I meant Social Security as well. And I not only tried it once, I tried it twice, I tried it a third time, and I tried it a fourth time. Raising the cap, raising the retirement age for people who are now 30 years old, raising the tax on Social Security, cutting benefits. They're all things that have to be discussed, quite frankly.
The American people know we have to fix Social Security. They know we can't grow our way to a solution. They know we're going to have to make some tough decisions.
Would you consider looking at those programs, age of eligibility,
Absolutely.
cost of living, put it all on the table?
The answer is absolutely, you have to. We are going to change the retirement age for Social Security.
We will always protect Social Security and Medicare for our great seniors. Biden can't do that. As president, I kept that promise, and I will keep it once again. I will not, under any circumstances, allow either of these two precious gems to be even touched under a Trump administration. You will always have your Social Security in full as you have it now, and you always have your Medicare.
Social Security will be strong and powerful. Medicare will be strong.
You deserve it.
I will always protect Medicare and Social Security for our great seniors.
All right. It's a good ad for a couple of reasons. The first is it preempts a lie that Joe Biden will tell. It's a lie that he and the Democrats told in 2022. The Republicans are coming for your Social Security and your Medicare. It also reinforces a message that he had against Ron DeSantis, which I think wasn't completely fair, by the way. But he suggested that Ron DeSantis was going to take away your Social Security. And Trump said, no, I'm going to protect it. Listen, whether you agree or not that Social Security and Medicare should continue down the path that it's on right now without some sort of reforms, because something's got to be done to fix it. Whether that's cutting benefits or not is certainly up for debate. But there's got to be something done. Otherwise, automatic triggers are struck so that it will automatically benefits will automatically be taken away. That's baked into the law right now, which most politicians in Washington won't tell you. But anyway, that doesn't matter. The point is, this is Donald Trump getting in front of a lie that Joe Biden is sure to tell because he's told it before. And that makes it a strong and powerful ad, too. One other ad that you probably won't see tonight during the debate, but Donald Trump just recently shared this, I think last night, on his Truth Social account, and you might get a kick out of it.
If you're having trouble sleeping, ask your doctor about Bidenica, the sleep aid made from 100% Joe Biden press conference.
The best way to get something done, if it holds near and dear to you that you like to be able to, anyway.
Bidenica has a patented blend of confusion and forgetfulness that will calm the most overactive brains.
COVID has taken this year, just since the outbreak, has taken more than 100 years. Look, here's the lives
It's just, when you think about it.
When they sold out American jobs and killed the Keystone Pipeline, it kept me up all night worrying about how we pay our bills. But then I got Bidenica, and I've never slept better.
Sometimes when I get hopped up on sugar, my parents give me Bidenica so I pass out. Other times they give it to me during the day, probably so they can do the deed. Gross.
Warning. People who have used Bidenica have experienced rampant lying and an inability to secure the southern border. Others have hallucinated and fought breakfast cereals.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Ask your doctor if Bidenica is right for you.
Yeah, Jimmy Fallon put that one together. And yes, Donald Trump shared it on his True Social account. By the way, I don't know if you caught it, but part of my favorite part of this video were some of the disclaimers at the bottom. Do not climb stairs or operate heavy equipment, right? It starts out with your basic disclaimers. And then this one, tell your doctor if you're pregnant, plan to become pregnant, or if you've taken bribes from Ukrainian and Chinese nationals in the last 15 years. Or this one, taking Bidenica, stop taking Bidenica and tell your doctor right away. If you speak gibberish, become disoriented and start thinking you are president of the United States. Anyway, all good stuff, all really good stuff, and funny. And that's part of what we like about how Donald Trump approaches this campaign, is that he does have a sense of humor. And if you can't laugh at Joe Biden, well, there's something wrong with you. We have to laugh, otherwise we're crying. We're crying every single day. So those are the professionally produced ads. The last one, satirical, of course, for Jimmy. But the other ones were all ads that have been created by the Trump team to sort of send a message to all the voters about where they are right now and why they should vote for him. I want to share with you one other video. This is not professionally produced. This is just a dude on TikTok who put together a video. But honestly, this one might in fact be the most effective of them all. In fact, the Trump campaign should buy this from this guy and just stick their label on the end of it and run it endlessly. In fact, this could be a viral thing that each and every one of you could engage in and create your own version of this. This is so powerful and so effective, and I want you to see it right now.
I feel like I'm going to be sick. I just looked through my Walmart history, and I found this Walmart order from 2 years ago for the whole month worth of groceries. 45 items cost $126. A whole month of groceries just for me, basically. But I did notice this reorder all button, and I wanted to see how much it would cost now. Now, this order of 45 items for 1 month would have cost $414. That is 4 times more. How the how? What?
How? Well, we know the answer. Joe Biden is in the White House after the 2020 election. That's how. So this is something that's very simple. You do if you've been ordering groceries, and a lot of us ordered our groceries 4 years ago because we weren't allowed to go to the grocery store because of Fauci and CDC and social distancing. So you should probably have a grocery order with that really handy reorder button. Do the same thing. Take some screenshots of what your grocery bill was 4 years ago. Click that reorder button and see. Now, I don't think it's going to be 4 times as much like this guy had. That's extraordinary. And I'd love to know exactly what was in that grocery cart. But why don't you do that and see what it is and then share the results? Share. You don't have to create a video like this either. You can just do a screenshot of 4 years ago what the grocery order was and then what the reorder would be today. And that right there is the most powerful message you can send to anyone about how important this election is and how important tonight's debate is as well.